All right. Good morning. Happy Friday. I hope you guys are all ready for the weekend. It's going to be, I think, beautiful weather and nice and warm for you. So we'll jump in here. I have Bob with me, and I'm Hannah with Evelo team, and we're doing our monthly market update to update you on what's happening in the real estate market here in Indiana. So let's start with what happened in the local housing market in April.
Yep, so let's just hop right into it. We've been doing this for quite a while now. So that first slide up is that median sales price for our local area. So that ended the month of April at 305,990, which was up a little over 3% from the prior year. So we've kind of the last couple months we've been talking about we're more back in that 3 to 5, 3 to 6% growth rate. So we'll see how that continues throughout the year. That days on market, at least for comparison over month, it's gone down quite a bit. We're at 14, but that is up over 10 from last year, which was, again, not significant, but percentage wise, that was a jump of 40%. But we were over 30 days not so long ago. So coming back down on that front. That month supply of inventory, again, much better than we were 2020 to 2023. But we have dipped back down under 2%, but that still is up over 1.4 month supply last year at this time. So up 25% almost. And then the last one in this first batch here, we always take a look at that average list to sales price ratio. So on average, our homes are selling for 98.6%. Which is basically flat versus last year, down a little tick. We were at 98.8. And again, as always, that's very situational dependent, very hyper local dependent. Certainly a lot of homes are still selling for over list price. Some are selling for under, but we're still within a couple percentage points, even as an average across the board.
Yeah, it's crazy that one stat is very similar to last year at this time. I'm surprised to see that. So, yeah. All right. So, looking at it being a shifting market, what are the other factors that you're tracking to see that shift?
Yeah, so we started taking a look at a few other things each month as well. First up is that active inventory. So we ended the month at 4920, which was up almost 25% over last year. So 1,000 more units we ended the month with that were still active. So that's why we're seeing that little bit of increase in month supply of inventory and those kind of things. This one I found most interesting, the number of homes closed in April 2024 versus April 2025 literally differed by one home.
Wow.
What are the odds of that? So really totally flat there, and with one home over last year. So that I found that one really interesting. Next up, the number of new listings. Again, we've seen some more new listings this year. I think would kind of feel that way as a team as well in terms of what April looked like. I know we definitely had more new listings in April of 25 than we did April of 24. So we ended that month up almost 10% over last year. And then that last one we take a look at, like we talked about, that percent of list price received. There's certainly a lot of homes still closing above list price, and that's exactly why we look at this. Almost 21% of the homes sold above list price in the month of April.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I had pulled a stat the other day. I mean, this is more hyper local, but for Noblesville from March to April is more than triple the amount of listings that went on the market. And so I think what we saw as a team is just a little bit delay in the spring market. But looking at your stats year over year, I'm like, there's a lot of things that are very similar to last year at this time. So kind of
Yeah.
back on track, it looks like, for what we had seen in the previous year. And what about interest rates? That's our common question that we answer as real estate agents. How are interest rates right now?
Yeah, so again, lots of variables that go into that, but we like to take a look just at this weekly market survey that comes out. So for the week ending yesterday, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate across the country was an average of 6.81. We have, I mean, you can look here, it's a little harder to see on the screen, but the 4-week average is 6.78 and the 52-week average is 6.7. So we're up like 0.17% from when we did this last month. But it has probably been the most consistent in terms of being right there in that 6.6 to 6.8 ish for quite a bit of time. And that's probably the most consistent it's been in some number of months for sure. And probably even a year or two going back in terms of just kind of sticking right there a little bit under 7 and not having huge swings in one direction or the other.
Yeah, that's what I answered someone the other day. They're like, do you know what they are this week? And I was like, honestly, it's about the same over the past year. And so, yes, you can monitor it, but it's not going to make that big of a difference with the little bit that it's fluctuated. So, all right, any final thoughts on state of the market?
Yeah, just always try to finish with something. This time I just kind of came across this interesting stat. This is kind of misconception, maybe among first-time home buyers in general, that you have to have 20% down as a down payment. That is definitely not the case. As you can see here, the average down payment for first-time home buyers is 9%. And keep in mind, there's lots of other options in addition to that as well. There are certainly a handful of 0% down programs. There's a bit more of like 3.5%, and then even a far greater number that would be anywhere between 5 and 19%. So if that's one of the things that's been keeping you on the fence a little bit, reach out. All right, we've got lots of great mortgage lenders we can connect you with. Each one of them might have some different programs for your particular needs and your situation. And we might be able to get you in home sooner than you thought by finding a good program that allows you to go out and start shopping.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for preparing that for us today. Thank you guys for joining. We hope that's helpful, and we will be back next month with more data. So as always, make each moment count. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.